Welcome, everyone. My name is Barbara Lipscomb. I'm city manager for the city of Greenville, and I really want to thank you so much for coming out on a very lazy, rainy Saturday afternoon. I really want to thank the Michael Stevenson Quartet for that wonderful music. I mean, if the city budget would allow it, we'd have to have them playing here every Thursday or Friday evening so we can sort of get the weekend on. See me afterward. I had an exciting time this evening so far. I met a young man and we are officially engaged because he is wearing my ring, and that's Kevin Mulligan's son. So this is little Declan, and we're glad to have Declan here. I want to welcome you all to what I'm calling our new historic parking garage. How about that? Woo! Who would have thought just 2.5 years ago coming to Greenville that we'd see over $100 million of all kind of new investment and have a parking deck built and all of the plazas around it and have this new urban environment in our town. So, and we've had so much development and new businesses come in, and so it's all very exciting and all very wonderful. This project has been long awaited for the businesses downtown, or uptown as we say, and I want to thank them for all that they've done to help champion the project through the years. But first of all, I do want to recognize our city council. Mayor Alan Thomas is here. Mayor Pro Tem Calvin Mercer is here. Rick Croskery's here. Rick Smiley's here. Marion Blackburn, where's Marion? She's here. And I spoke this morning with Councilmember Rose Glover, who is ill right now and who could not be with us, but she sends Godspeed and her best wishes. And yesterday I spoke with Councilmember Candy Smith, whose district this is in. This uptown's in her district. And she was basically helping me understand some of the long-term background of the garage, and she was deeply regretful that she had a conflict today and could not attend, but she would have wanted to be here too. We have former council member Dennis Mitchell here. Where's Dennis? I think I saw him. And Dennis was a part of the leadership that voted on the parking deck, as well as Max Journer. Don't see Max, but I want to thank them too for their leadership on the project. Are there members of the Redevelopment Commission here? Okay, well, we want to thank the Redevelopment Commission for your support of the project and for your financial contributions. It all looks so great. Anybody representing the West Memorial Foundation here? Okay. And Don Edwards is here representing the Rachel and Jack Edwards Foundation. And both of those foundations were instrumental in assisting with the clock tower for the parking deck. And so we're very, very happy for your generous support. Surrounding property owners, are you here today? Because you have made a difference. We were a little confused and confounded about, well, what do we do with this parking deck that's going to be just sitting out here? And you all stepped up and helped make the difference in terms of us getting these beautiful plazas around this deck. And I think it makes for a beautiful, beautiful urban environment, and we can't thank you enough. I also want to thank our staff. We have members of the downtown unit here who help patrol downtown, the Central City unit. We have members of the Public Works Department staff. Our city attorney worked on the project, our finance department officials, and others. And I'm just very pleased that staff, you always seem to come up to the plate and go the extra mile. And I'm very, very appreciative of all that you do. And I want to recognize Kevin Mulligan, who is the director of the Public Works Department. Under his leadership, a number of the decisions were made that have made this project such a wonderful one. And he kept it on the garage on time and on budget, and then we followed along with the plazas. And so, Kevin, thank you so much. Where did Kevin go? For your leadership and all your staff and all that you do. And so, after I've done my thank you for my welcome, we have a few remarks by the mayor. Mayor Thomas, come on down.
Now, I talk a little louder than Barbara. Can you guys hear me? Okay, there in the back. Y'all hear me in the back? I like Barbara's idea. I think we need to do this about every Friday, about 5 o'clock. What do you think? You agree with that, Mark? Thursday at 5 o'clock. Thursday. I've already had a proposal to make this a downhill ski area, maybe during the winter months, a little revenue for the city. Anyway, it is a pleasure to be here, and thank you guys for the entertainment. Just give them a hand again. Wonderful music to kick off the event. I tell people every day, if you haven't been to Greenville, North Carolina, and this uptown area, in the past 2 to 2.5 years, you will be blown away with what you'll see. I get messages every week from former Greenville residents, East Carolina graduates, family members. I got a text this morning talking about riding through this area and what I call concrete and cranes. The amount of activity we see in the progress in this area. It means vitality, it means life, it means new residents, it means a future in this district. When so many cities across this country now are moving away from their uptown, turning a blind eye to what was the pride of their cities for decades, we are rejuvenating and leading the way here in Greenville, North Carolina, bringing a life here, making our front porch, our uptown area, a point of pride. And that's something that everyone in this room, or this parking deck, deserves a great deal of praise. I see so many faces here. Business owners who took their checkbook out, put their money up and took the risk. Council members who kind of put their neck out when the idea of a parking facility, the vision to step out and understand that that now has turned into a catalyst for probably a hotel and multiple other retail and other projects in this uptown area. Painting that vision, this plaza area, I can just see it now. Can't you just see it in a few months with a beautiful, warm Saturday? Dozens of people and families in this little park in this area. They've been over to whatever restaurant and grabbed a coffee. And let me tell you, this is only the beginning. I just want to tell you, this is only the beginning. Thank you so much to Bianca Schoeneman. Let's give her a hand for Uptown and their leadership. Bianca doesn't get to speak today, but I've got a big enough mouth for all of us. I just want to tell you, well, I guess Don was about 2.5 years ago. This was a part-time position, but this wasn't a part-time responsibility. And the city and East Carolina and Vidant got serious about making a positive change, a practical change here in this area. And we all wrote checks, and the private sector wrote checks. And now you've seen, as Barbara mentioned, $100+ million in investment in this area the past couple of years. The tax value when we started thinking of this deck was around $10 million. The tax value today is over it was $1 million. And now the tax value within this radius is $10 million since this deck has been completed. So that tells you what is going on here and what we look forward to the future. We'll move on with this, and I guess, Kevin, are you next to come up to speak? Kevin Mulliken, our Director of Public Works. And Kevin, I can't say enough about his efforts. When you do a project on time and on budget in government or anything else, that deserves a hand. Amen? Folks, we're building this city not for 1980 and 1990. We're building this for 2020 and 2030. So your children and others' children can have a great future in Eastern North Carolina. And it starts here in Uptown Greenville. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, wearing a couple hats today. He's the Grand Marshal of the parade, which will be at 4 o'clock. Rain or shine, it is happening. And Bianca was just telling me that Tipsy Teapot, that's where the band that was going to be at the Rose's parking lot, will be inside at Tipsy Teapot. So happy St. Patrick's Day. I just want to say, I cannot believe, I woke up this morning, I figured we were going to be speaking to about 5 or 6 people. I cannot believe how many people are here, and I just want to give you a round of applause. So we're very proud of this project, and I think the residents of Greenville are very proud of this project. It's been a long time coming, and thank you to the council, thank you to the city manager. Some particulars about this project. About a $5 million investment into this plaza and into this garage. 4 stories, 238 parking spots, some of the green features, the LED lighting that's lighting us, the permeable pavers out there, there's a bicycle rack back there, and of course this beautiful plaza that so many people were involved in and speaking, 28 security cameras, so Monday I can go in and look at my monitor and see how everyone did on this, but and PD can. So one of the important things about this project, besides obviously the parking garage, is the connectivity of, again, the pathways from Reed to Cotanche, out to Evans, up to 4th. Just great vision, and I thank you for the trust in enabling us to carry it out. I do want to thank a few people. Thank you to Barnhill. I see Dave Dugas and Dan Pruitt here, and a bunch of other guys who worked on this in the cold, in the ice, in the heat, and in the rain, getting this done and getting this looking beautiful. Thank you. Some of the design team, Walker. I don't know if anyone from Walker Parking Consultants is here, but. Robert Griffin Group, Hunt and Robert, East Group. The East Group and Rivers, who did both did a tremendous job here. And then, as the city manager was saying, there's just so many departments within the city that were involved in this. I see PD and fire, their input on the security, fire reviewing this. Public Works, our guys, just fantastic job. Community development, there's our public information officer, big part of this as well. Economic development, even finance, city manager's office, obviously. So, and GUC. So, thank you, and I'm going to pass this over to Mr. Edwards. Talk about the.
Thanks, Kevin. First and foremost, I would like to thank my cousin, Dixon Fleming. Dixon called me the other day. He was headed to the ACC tournament. He's a UNC alumnus, and he said, Don, God, a parking deck dedication. I'm not going to the ACC tournament, and I'm going to the parking deck dedication. So what a supreme sacrifice. So thank you very much, Dixon. But I'm Don Edwards, and I would like to quickly tell you the story of the dedication of the clocks. It's a fabulous, fabulous story. When my mom passed away last June, my sister Nancy and I decided that memorials should be given to our nonprofit, Uptown Greenville. We received many, many generous contributions. Thank you. Our resourceful and talented Uptown Greenville director, Bianca Schoenemann, took the funds and got the Uptown Greenville board to match them. Then she took that sum and was able to secure a much larger West grant, one of our foundations from the city, and then we had enough money to pay for the clocks. We are dedicating these clocks to both my mom and my dad because we knew that that would be what my mom wanted to do. They were indeed a fabulous team, and this indeed is a wonderful example of public-private partnership. Ben Franklin, widely given credit for creating the nonprofit, would be proud. So I would like to thank all of you, first of all, the many people that have contributed to my mom's memorial. Secondly, I would like to thank again Bianca for really putting this fabulous project together. To the West Trust for their generous, generous contribution. And lastly, and you've heard Alan and everyone talk about this, the great job that our city, all of you have done working together, property owners, the city, Barnhill, architects, everybody, to make this a wonderful public facility. Now I'd like to read briefly a letter that speaks to the essence of my mom and dad. The letter is from Randall Kane, PhD in Florida, ECU graduate, a renowned educator. He worked for my mom and dad all the way back in 1963, 52 years ago, at the Book Barn. To whom concerned, enclosed you will find a small contribution. This contribution is made in memory of Rachel and Jack Edwards, and I would like for it to go to the clock project that I understand is to be erected in their honor. I was one of the original student cast of characters in Jack's great adventure called The Book Barn. The experience of that retail challenge for him and Rachel, as well as the entrepreneurial lessons learned, will always be one of my core memories at East Carolina. I, to this day, recall those early days when cash flow was rough and Jack would rub his face as if to erase the pressure and cheerfully announce that he was off to the bank. I know some of my cousins can appreciate that. That banker deserves a round of applause for their trust and belief in Jack and Rachel. The town is, even today, the beneficiary of Jack and Rachel's hard work. I can only imagine the stress they both felt, but we little employees certainly never felt any lack of graciousness from either of them. We were treated as family. The legacy of Jack and Rachel lives on with the University Book Exchange. What a legacy. So many young lives have been positively impacted by the employment opportunities presented by the UBE. They had an opportunity to see that early effort become a huge success, and I know they appreciated all the success with the warmth and modesty they always displayed. I am pleased there will be a clock dedicated to their memory. It is quite fitting that the passage of time will be there for all to see. Jack and Rachel gave of their time. The time they spent with young folks like me paid so many dividends. The time they spent building their tiny business paid abundant rewards for their community. And those rewards continue to be reaped to this day. Time will pass for us all, yet for me and many, many more others, time will never erase our memories of them both. God bless y'all. Thank you for making this happen. Thank you for your contributions.
On behalf of Greenville and all its wonderful citizens, we dedicate this parking deck ribbon cutting. 1, 2, 3.